Change your mind and transform your life. Most of our behavior is determined by invisible patterns that repeat day after day, as if our lives were running on preset tracks. Thoughts, emotions, and actions repeated over time create an almost automatic reality, where we often find ourselves trapped in routines we never consciously chose. It is as if we were running a program installed in our brains without ever questioning its origin. But the truth is, we don't need to live as prisoners of this autopilot. There is a transformative power hidden within us, the ability to change the mind, and with it, completely change life. Before we go further, I want to leave you a special invitation: subscribe to the channel right now and share this video with someone who needs this message. By doing so, you help this content reach more people and strengthen your own journey of growth. Changing the mind is not a simple act, but it is possible, and modern science has already proven what the great sages of antiquity once intuited: our thoughts shape our destiny. And that is exactly what we will talk about: how to reprogram your mind, free yourself from the past, create a new self, and radically transform your life. Change requires letting go of the past. No true transformation happens while we remain chained to the past. What many people don't realize is that the mind stores memories like scars, and each painful memory can become an invisible prison. Carrying resentment, guilt, or grudges not only drains emotional energy but also shapes how we perceive the present and approach the future. Letting go of the past does not mean ignoring the pain or pretending it never existed. It means giving it new meaning, looking back and understanding that every experience, no matter how hard, brought lessons and strengths that shaped us. When you release unnecessary baggage, you make room within yourself to build something new. It's like clearing a field before building a house. You cannot build strong walls on top of ruins. Change requires courage to face your wounds and wisdom to turn them into learning. As long as you cling to what has been, you will keep reliving the same pain in endless cycles. But once you allow yourself to let go of the past, you open the door to a future that does not have to repeat yesterday's shadows. Brain plasticity and the capacity to improve. One of the greatest miracles of being human is brain plasticity. For a long time, it was believed that the brain was fixed, like stone, incapable of change after childhood. Today we know this is not true. Our brain is moldable, adaptable, and capable of transformation throughout life. Every new learning, every habit, and even every thought creates new connections, strengthens neural pathways, and opens possibilities once unimaginable. This means no one is condemned to remain trapped in old patterns. Science proves you can learn new skills, change behaviors, develop emotional resilience, and even reprogram limiting beliefs. This ability does not belong only to a few privileged people. It is available to everyone willing to train the mind with discipline and repetition. When you understand that the brain is like a muscle, transformation takes on a new meaning. If you exercise positive thoughts, your mind grows stronger. If you practice gratitude, you increase resilience. If you cultivate calm, your mind learns to react less and respond better. The future is not written, it is being designed with every choice you make. Identify the factors that harm your brain. Just as the body can become ill through poor habits, the brain also suffers from harmful choices. Lack of sleep, constant stress, excessive screen time, poor nutrition, and even toxic relationships are invisible poisons that corrode mental clarity and emotional stability. Identifying these factors is the first step to protecting the health of your mind. Often, we believe we lack willpower to change, when in reality, the brain is simply exhausted. How can we expect clarity from someone who never rests? How can we demand discipline from someone who feeds only on shallow stimuli? Your environment, habits, and daily inputs directly shape the way you think and feel. When you identify what harms your mind, you become able to cut at the root the influences that drain your energy. That may mean reducing time on social media, cultivating quality sleep, improving your diet, exercising, or distancing yourself from people who steal your peace. The mind needs clean fuel to operate at its best. Don't let the small things steal your calm. Much of our energy is wasted on small things that don't deserve so much space in our minds. A careless word, an indifferent look, or a baseless criticism, all of these can steal our peace if we don't learn to filter what truly matters. An undisciplined mind turns small stones into great walls, and this undermines our ability to move forward. Cultivating serenity means understanding that we don't need to react to everything. Not every provocation deserves a response, not every obstacle must be turned into drama. When you learn not to be swayed by small disturbances, you save energy for what truly makes a difference. This is not passivity, but wisdom. It is choosing where to spend your focus and emotions. If you allow your mind to be invaded by every detail, you will be a prisoner of external chaos. But when you learn to stay centered even amidst storms, you discover that true freedom is not letting small things steal your greatness. Create a new self through repetition. It is not enough to want to change. You must repeat, day after day, the behaviors that shape the new self. The brain works through patterns, and only repetition has the power to consolidate new pathways. Each time you practice a new habit, you strengthen a neural network. Each time you choose a new thought, you are reprogramming your own system. Creating a new self requires patience. At first, the mind will always try to pull you back to the old, because the brain prefers the comfort zone. But persistence breaks this resistance. When you wake up every day and act according to the version of yourself you want to become, the brain begins to accept that this is the new pattern. Over time, what once felt forced becomes natural. What was once discipline turns into identity. You stop being someone who only wants to change, and you become someone who lives the change. That is the power of repetition. Little by little, you create a renewed self. Adopt habits that strengthen your brain. The brain requires constant care to remain healthy and active. Simple habits can make a huge difference: reading daily, learning new skills, meditating, exercising, getting quality sleep, and eating well are practices that strengthen not only the body but also the mind. These habits work like bricks that build a resilient mind. Reading expands horizons, exercise improves brain oxygenation, meditation reduces anxiety, and sleep restores cognitive functions. All of this contributes to keeping your mind in a state of growth. Adopting brain-strengthening habits is like investing in your own mental prosperity. Every action, no matter how small, is an act of self-love. And by taking care of the mind, you take care of life, because everything we experience begins first in thought. Create an environment that favors mental health. The environment we live in shapes our thoughts more than we realize. A messy house, a noisy space, or a room full of digital distractions makes concentration harder and robs mental clarity. On the other hand, calm, organized, and inspiring spaces help the mind flourish and remain focused. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming the environment around you. Remove excess, create spaces that bring tranquility, choose wisely the people you surround yourself with, and limit access to distractions that drain your focus. A healthy environment not only supports discipline but also encourages the mind to stay steady on the path of change. The human mind is like a sponge, it absorbs what surrounds it. Therefore, choose to surround yourself with stimuli that inspire growth, peace, and clarity. That choice will make all the difference in your journey to transform your mind. The role of negative and positive thinking. Negative thoughts have a corrosive power, not only on emotions but also on the health of the body and vital energy. When we cultivate pessimistic beliefs, we begin to see life through a dark filter that distorts reality and prevents the good from flourishing. Positive thinking, on the other hand, is not naivety but a way to program the mind to see possibilities. It does not eliminate problems, but it strengthens you to face them with courage. The difference between someone who gives up and someone who wins often lies in how they interpret challenges. One sees insurmountable obstacles, the other sees steps to climb. You cannot control everything that happens in life, but you can control the lens through which you choose to see it. And when you decide to cultivate positive thoughts, you are feeding your mind with the fuel that generates movement, courage, and hope. Believe firmly in yourself. No technique, habit, or environment can transform your life if you do not deeply believe in yourself. Self-confidence is the foundation of all change, because it sustains action in the face of difficulties. When you believe, the mind finds reasons to persist. When you doubt, it finds excuses to quit. Believing in yourself does not mean thinking it will be easy, it means trusting that you are capable of going through any difficulty. It is looking within and recognizing that there is a force greater than external obstacles. This inner conviction is what separates those who only dream from those who achieve. So, nurture faith in yourself. Repeat daily to your mind that you are capable. Even if the whole world doubts you, your inner voice must be the strongest. Because those who believe, transform, and those who transform, inspire. By the end, changing the mind is the key that opens the door to a new life. It is a process that requires courage, discipline, and faith, but one that rewards you with freedom, clarity, and fulfillment. When you let go of the past, strengthen your brain, adopt new habits, and believe in yourself, you build a stronger and more authentic version of who you are. And before we finish, I leave you with a special request: subscribe to the channel right now and share this video with someone who needs this message. Every gesture helps this content reach more people and creates a movement of collective transformation. Your mind is the seed of all change. Take care of it, cultivate it with wisdom, and you will see your life bloom like never before.